tried to make it on time because technically I'm not late because I said I was coming in at 7-ish and it's 7:02 Eastern Time a.m. Yes, today we're going to talk about Donald Trump, some policies. We're going to actually talk about his cabinet, continue that because he has a list of people that he has nominated to be part of a new team, as they say. And today I'm just going to just name it, okay? The topics today we're going to have today is Trump new administration, Trump policies review, and question, will mass deportation cause even more inflation here in America? Also, are some of Trump's nominations nepotism? And then last but not least, as I always end the live, I always say, have a quote. And today's quote is, half measures avail at nothing. Okay? And thank you guys. Yes, I'm going to talk about politics. So, because we've been talking about Diddy, we've been talking about a lot of things. So, as always, hey Jacob, hello. Hello, thank you for coming in. Hey, Art of War. Now, I don't know how long this going to be now. I don't know how long this live might be. Because I might do it later on there. I'm going to see, though. I'm going to see. Okay? But you guys know the rules. I always read the fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. And I just realized I forgot something. Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Hello, Jim. Jim, I was asking about you, Jim. I had asked Alan about you. Thank you for coming in. Yes, Jim, I was asking about you. And thank you guys for coming in. Yes, we are here to talk about politics this morning because I have been discussing Hey, OG Brand. So, if you guys are just coming in, okay, what we're going to talk about is this continuance of Trump's administration, Trump's policies. Hey, Joy, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming in. And thank you for being understanding. You guys are always understanding when I do a live, okay? And like I stated, we're going to talk about Trump policy review. And do you guys think this mass deportation that Donald Trump has in store for next year, do you think it will cause an inflation? And then also, are some of Trump nominations nepotism? These are the questions that, I'm, just want to put out there. I just want to put out there. But first, we're going to, look at some listings of these nominations. Now, yesterday we discussed Matt. We're not gonna discuss Matt no more. We're not gonna discuss Matt Gaetz unless y'all want to. And all of his controversy. Okay, he had a lot of controversy. Now I'm gonna try to make this a little quick, not too long of a live because I wanted to actually do 2 lives today. I am Jacob says, OG Brand, did you watch Tom and Jerry this morning? OG Brand says, God is in control, but Donald Trump is a very smart man. And see, this is why I feel people they misunderstand Donald Trump in the sense they think that he's, this way, and they think he's not that smart. Hello, Joshua. Thank you for coming in. Jim says, who knows? He might even get a jail. Hillary. Oh, no, not Hillary Clinton. Not Hillary Clinton. Wait a minute. He's gonna jail them all. Hillary Clinton. He's gonna jail Hillary Clinton. And that is one thing I wanted to talk about in regards to that, because it's kind of odd that since Donald Trump has, won the election, now it's like a lot of people are kind of, scared. I'll just be honest, kind of scared. And the picture that you're looking at right here, this is actually on Donald Trump's private jet. Okay, after he won his election, and look at the gentleman that you see at the table eating McDonald's. Okay, you have Elon Musk. You cannot make this up. You have Donald Trump. You have Donald Trump Jr. And look at this gentleman right here. You have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And right behind him, who is this? You have Mike Johnson. You cannot make this up, right? And the reason I'm showing this picture is to just let people know, like, what's to come. What's to come moving forward. Hello, Dorita. Dorita says, God has not given us the spirit of fear. Amen. Yes. And you know what? That is one of the things a lot of people, and I'm going to pin what you said, and thank you for coming in, Dorita. A lot of people are getting, scared, very scared of Donald Trump and what's to come. And the first clip that I'm going to show, and I'm glad that you put that in the universe, Dorita, because a lot of people have been very, wary of what's to come. Why? Because of his policies. Okay? And anybody who has followed Donald Trump. And Narendra, hello Narendra, thank you so much for coming in. Narendra says fear is good. Oh, of course you would say that. Of course you would say that. Of course, Narendra, you would say fear is good. Now, I want to look at these core promises, okay, first, that President Trump has said, right? And what I highlighted are things that we had discussed before. Okay, one of the major things is seal the border, stop migrant invasion. Okay, that's one of his top things to do. Okay, and one of the people that he nominated to be over the border czar is, quote unquote, and you guys should know, Tom Homan. OG Brand says they can't be Christ thinking. Joshua says God has more strength. Yes. And I think people need to, have a little bit more faith in themselves and not in the flesh itself, if we want to get, spiritual in that case, because you can't go off of what the flesh tells you. You have to have faith, right? And you have to not only have faith in whoever that you believe in as far as God himself, but you also have to have faith in your own judgment, right? You can't go off of what other people tell you to do. And I think that is one of the reasons, we're in the situation that we're in now, as far as Kamala Harris. She actually thought that she had a chance as far as winning, because she thought that we as Americans were so ignorant that we're just going to go off of what celebrities tell us to do as far as voting for her just because I support her. You have to have a more so open mind. And I'm going to play Eric Adams, okay, his response in regards to this, Donald Trump becoming, the 47th president. And one of his core promises is to what? Seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. And if you guys know who Eric Adams is, he is the New York City's mayor, okay? And with him, this is a city that, or should I say state, that is a sanctuary state. And according to Jim says, Trump will soon be charging Elon rent at Not rent. Not rent, Jim. I'm not dealing with you today, Jim. I am not dealing with you today, Jim. Now, I will say this, and let me get my things together. I will say, in regards to this gentleman right here, Eric Adams, okay, he did a press conference right the week that Donald Trump had won, because a lot of people in New York are very, very scared of what's to come, right? And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please please subscribe, please share, please support. Now, when it comes down to Eric Adams, a lot of people feel that, was he just, trying to calm people down, or did he have other reasons to do this press conference that he gave? And I'm going to play a clip of the press conference. And this is fair use in response to how he feels that his city has been treated by the federal government when it comes down to the funding. And yes, the funding. And once again, this is fair use.
Loss of tax income, and are you worried that will affect the city's bottom line?
Well, our city's bottom line was affected, with 20,000 migrants and asylum seekers were placed in the city within the federal assistance that was substantial. We were impacted, billions of dollars. And what Deputy Mayor Williams Ison was able to do, 170,000 have been able to go on to the next step in their journey because of the proposals we put in place, including getting work authorization. The most important thing we can do for those migrants and asylum seekers that are already here in the country, who were paroled into the country, is give them work authorization. We said this over and over again. People should be allowed to work. Cities like Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, Houston, New York, we should not be picking up the tab of migrants and asylum seekers, which is a federal problem. And that is what we've had to do. And it's unfortunate those billions of dollars taxpayers had to pay for. So many have moved on to other locales that they wanted to go to, and some have returned back to their homelands. We're going to continue to do our job like we've done for those 170,000 that took the next step on their journey.
Now, notice what he said. This is why Donald Trump, okay, is coming in, heads up. Because notice what he said. He said that they have not received the federal funding that they supposed to have been receiving in New York City, okay? And with New York City, if you guys don't know, they have lost millions and millions and millions of dollars ever since, okay? So many undocumented immigrants have came into New York City, okay? And it has caused New York City to be in a deficit, okay? So this is what I want people to understand, right? I'm going to play this clip one more time just for you guys to really get an understanding of just how serious even New York is in right now with undocumented immigrants. I want you guys to understand the levels, the extremes that we are in. And look at his face now. Look at his face. Okay? And with New York City, I want people to understand that they have other things going on. Okay? They cannot afford to deal with undocumented immigrants as far as the funding, and they're not receiving the funding that they had supposed to receive from the federal government. Okay? They have to deal with a lot of things, and we will talk about that. But I'm going to play this clip one more time before I discuss with Donald Trump as far as his plan and why he wants to do a mass deportation, okay? And this is one of the reasons, okay? These are one of the reasons. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to play this clip one more time. One more time.
Are you worried that will affect the city's bottom line?
Well, our city's bottom line was affected, with 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers were placed in the city without any federal assistance that was substantial. We were impacted, billions of dollars. And what Deputy Mayor Williams Ison was able to do, 170,000 have been able to go on to the next step in their journey because of the proposals we put in place, including getting work authorization. The most important thing we can do for those migrants and asylum seekers that are already here in the country, who were paroled into the country, is give them work authorization. We said this over and over again. People should be allowed to work. Cities like Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, Houston, New York, we should not be picking up the tab of migrants and asylum seekers, which is a federal problem. And that is what we've had to do. And it's unfortunate those billions of dollars taxpayers had to pay for. So many have moved on to other locales that they wanted to go to, and some have returned back to their homelands. We're going to continue to do our job like we've done for those 170,000 that took the next step on the journey.
Now, thank you guys for coming in. I want to highlight what Unseen said. Okay, I don't know if I can pin this because you have the little F word in it, but yes, what Unseen said, you should be in prison, and I'm presuming they are referring to this gentleman that I just showed you, Eric Adams. And that was one of the reasons I want to also talk about, some people feel that he is trying to cover himself, right? He's trying to cover himself because he's currently been indicted, okay? And that is why some people are kind of questioning this huge press conference that he had the week of November the 5th after Donald Trump had won his election. He had this press conference on November the 7th, I'm presuming. And thank you guys for coming in. Rich says he needs to go to jail. Oh, wait a minute. We can all be respectful. Please be respectful in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And Tanner says, it's you again. Hey, what's good? Hey, Tanner, thank you for coming in. Now, the person that we're talking about all of this deportation that has been going on, or should I say that will come about. And the gentleman that I see in the comments people are talking about is this gentleman right here, Eric Adams. Okay, he has been under scrutiny himself. Okay, you guys are actually right on that. Okay, I will agree to extent. Okay, because he has been indicted, right? He has been indicted, but I want to make sure that people understand the levels of how New York City as a whole has been affected with this illegal, the undocumented immigrants that have came into New York City, right? And I did a little bit of typing, but like I stated, when it comes down to New York City Mayor Eric Adams, yes, he has made controversial decision. He did this press conference to let people know that this city, New York City, will end food vouchers for the migrants. A move, he says, is necessary as the city struggles to manage the financial burden of growing influx of illegal migrant families. Okay, and he also stated if we don't get the support we need, okay, New Yorkers could be left with a $12 billion bill, he said in his formal press conference. And I want people to understand this, right? He's already putting out there, and I want people to say, we can kind of say this is kind of light because we can question him like, are you saying that you need the money for yourself, considering these accusations and this indictment that has came upon you, Eric Adams? Okay, so we kind of have to kind of be light with some of this. And you're welcome, Unseen. Thank you for coming in. Joshua says they told him the truth about what's actually happening. He changed his tune immediately. And see, this is why I want people to kind of have an open mind, right? Donald Trump, he's been saying this. He said this before, in his first term, right? He said this before when it came down to dealing with the border security. He been said this. But now look what's going on, right? During the Joe Biden administration, I'm just going to be very frank. During the Joe Biden administration, they reversed a lot of Donald Trump's, bills, right? Eric Adams says, and I quote, I'm going to highlight this. If we don't get the support we need, New Yorkers could be left with a $12 billion bill. And I want to scroll down. This $12 billion bill is the estimate by the summer of next year. It's if the flow of these migrants continues to rise. I want people to really just kind of understand the levels of this. Narendra says they fear that once this is out, they will be sharing a cell with Diddy. And Narendra, you are not right. They will be sharing a cell with Diddy for embezzlement. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, all of this is going on because the Southern District of New York, the district attorney's office, they did file, indictment against Eric Adams. That mean, he might end up being in the same correction facility as Diddy. Okay, but I would say this in regards to Eric Adams. He did state, like I stated, the $12 billion is an estimate by the summer of 2025. I want people to understand just how serious this is, okay? And this is why he is saying, okay, we cannot continue to provide these vouchers. We cannot continue to provide certain things for what's been going on in New York City because we are not getting the federal funding that we thought that we were going to get. And he did state this at this press conference, that the city will still remain sanctuary for non-documented and documented immigrants, and that they support women's rights on reproductive, excuse my typo, and women health care. That includes AKA, as you can see, okay, getting rid of a baby. I have to be very careful with my way of saying it on YouTube, guys. Okay, I'm not sure if YouTube is supporting Trump or not. Now, with getting rid of a baby, Eric Adams did say they will always be available in New York to women nationwide, worldwide, as well as supporting the LGBTQIA plus community. These are key things that Eric Adams stated in his specific press conference. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. I wanted to actually show the gentleman that Donald Trump has said, yes, this gentleman is going to deal with, he's the border czar. He is the one. He's not pulling no corners. Okay. He's not playing any games with these people. And I have to be very frank and say that because of all the things that's been going on. So much to the point people are in fear, okay? People are actually in fear. And one of the people, we're going to talk about her, Tulsi Gabbard. I have utmost respect for her. If you guys have utmost respect for this beautiful, smart, strong woman, please hit that like button. Let's talk about it, okay? I have so much respect for her. Congratulations to her for being nominated to be the Director of National Intelligence. Utmost respect. And like I said, thank you guys for coming in. And nope, I didn't say that. Nope, I didn't say that. But thank you for coming in. Now, I will show you the gentleman that Donald Trump did nominate. And give me one moment, you guys. One moment. I will show you the gentleman that he did nominate. One moment. And thank you guys for coming in. I always do not have my stuff together. I always do this. Always do this. But give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you the gentleman that Donald Trump has actually appointed. Give me one moment. Yes. This gentleman right here, if you can see. Okay. He is the one that Donald Trump has appointed to deal with, in his words, there will be supposedly a mass deportation. Right? Because of all what's been going on during this administration. I hate to say it. I'm just going to be very frank. There's been so much, and just like Eric Adams stated himself, New York alone has lost so much money, and by next year, they will end up being $12 billion. Okay, in trouble. So I want people to kind of understand the levels that has been going on. And one more state that I want to talk about before I go with this is this particular governor right here, the Democrat governor of Illinois. Okay, he also did a press conference. And hello guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. He did a press conference. I don't know why people are so scared of Trump. What did Trump do? They're just trying to see. He's so scared. People are very scared. I'm so serious. They're very, very scared. Leak says the people bringing them in need to be charged. Oh, now Leaks, now you taking it on a whole nother level. And see, this is why, okay, I really cannot wait for what's to come when Joe Biden administration actually gets out and then Donald Trump comes in. Because that's why I named this particular video Trump versus America. Because when January comes in and Donald Trump officially is in as the 47th president, right? Will he do all what he said? Because this governor that you're looking at right here, Governor JB, okay, of Illinois, of Democrat, he did a press conference, okay? And he gave Trump, he gave Trump and Republicans a warning, okay? He gave them a warning. He said, don't come for my people. They will have to come through me. He's just that upset, just that scared, okay? And he said, people have often said that I am a happy warrior. And I've always taken seriously my role as a happy warrior on behalf of this state. Now, this is the governor of Illinois. This is the governor of Illinois. I want you guys to just think. He says he's already telling Trump, don't come for my people. Why? Because one of Donald Trump's core promises that he has promised everyone, he's going to have a mass deportation. And I want people to understand just the levels of this, how serious this is. And thank you guys for coming in regards to, we're going to continue what this governor has stated. He says, to anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of these people, I would remind you that a happy warrior is a still warrior. You come for my people, you come through me. And he also said this, despite his threats to health care coverage and educational opportunity and a fair minimum wage, Illinois will continue to invest in the well-being and prosperity of all our people. I'm just reading the statement. Over the years ahead, we'll do more than just protect against possible reversion to an agenda that threatens to take us backwards. We will continue to advance a positive, productive, inclusive agenda of our own. Now, why did he say that? Because he wants to say this, Illinois, he wants to say the same thing that Eric Adams has said about New York City. He wants to say Illinois, they support, okay, women's rights, okay? They support as far as deleting a baby, as they say. They also support, this is a safe haven for not only women, but the LGBTQIA plus community. Now, why are these politicians and these individuals are hurrying up and making statements and press conferences? I'm going to show you why. Because of Donald Trump's core values. And I want people to understand this. When it comes down to his core values, I'm gonna show you his core values. Donald Trump is not playing, and it must be some truth. And people, you can say what you want. Let me know, and thank you guys for coming in. It must be some truth to this, right? Because if it wasn't some truth to this, why are all of these politicians so upset? And Cole, thank you for coming in. The reason I said the values, you say Cole says Trump has values. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna actually show the actual quote unquote Donald Trump's core values. Okay. These are values that he has listed on his website. Okay, if you don't want to take my word, it is on his website. Okay, so that is what I was referring to when I said Donald Trump's core values and promises. Okay, yes, he did core values and promises. And give me one moment, I am looking for it. I don't know why I do this. I do this every time. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to show you a whole list of these quote unquote values. These values that Donald Trump is standing by. Hopefully he's going to stand on. Give me one moment. I'm looking for it. And thank you guys for coming in. Okay, and yesterday, you guys, we did talk about Matt Gaetz as well as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. But like I said, I'm looking for the 20 core values. Yes, Donald Trump did release 20 core quote-unquote values. Core values that he wants to stand on. Let me see where you are, core values. Oh, right here. Now I'm going into comments. Jim says, at Susan, a few governors and mayors are soon going to find out the meaning of mandate. Rich says, finally, we the people get what we for finally. Let's see what happens. It's been a long 4 years. Yes, it has, Rich. Yes, it has. And I'm gonna highlight, I'm gonna pin what you just said. A long 4 years. It really, really has. Now, these are the core values, or should I say the core promises that President Trump has released. And I want you guys to look at some of the things that I highlighted, and this is why, okay, you have these politicians such as the governor of Illinois so upset he had to release a statement, right? Okay, his statement was, don't come for my people. Don't come for my people. And I'm going to highlight this, what he said. This is a safe haven for women. Safe haven for women. Why? Because let's look at the core values. Okay, Donald Trump's core values. We're going to break this down, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. I had to really get myself together today, this morning, in regards to prepare myself to talk about Donald Trump versus America, because yes, it is coming. Okay, it is coming, and I want people to, not have any fear. Please don't have any fear. This is not a time to have fear. Right? We have to unite. We have to move forward. We have to, stand together. Why? Because look at these core values that Donald Trump has put on his page to let you guys know he is going to be a man of his word and stand by what he has been saying for years. Okay? Because he did speak on this the first time he was president. The first one is seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. Carry out the largest deportation operation in American history, end inflation, and make America affordable again. I think that's one of the things people want, because if you guys live in America, somebody that lives in America, heck, at this point, okay, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but heck, at this point, even if you are some countries, right? Because Donald Trump has appointed some people such as Mark Rubio, and yes, we're going to talk about it. Mark Rubio, that has been, sanctioned by China, right? We have to talk about it, right? But now the question is, will they remove that sanction away from Mark Rubio, or remove it from him, since he has been nominated by the 47th president, Donald Trump? Okay, he has been nominated. So these are things that Donald Trump is trying to put in and implement, okay, for America to finally, quote unquote, in his words, take a stand, okay, and not continue to put all this money out, okay, and it's not really beneficial to, I'm just going to be honest, it's not being beneficial to places such as, I'm just going to show it, places such as New York. Look at this face. Now, you can say this face is the face of a man that's been indicted, Mayor Eric Adams, okay? You can say that could be the face of an indictment, Okay, but this is the phase that Eric Adams had when he had the press conference addressing people about, you know, what's to come. And one of the things that made a lot of people upset with him is that he's going to discontinue a lot of these vouchers for illegal immigrants. You know, he's preparing himself, right? He's preparing himself. And just like we discussed, if you guys are just coming in, this particular city alone, according to Eric Adams, they will be in $12 billion debt by the summer of 2025 if they had not stopped, okay, some of these vouchers, some of these fundings. And I'm going to play a quick clip of what Eric Adams said in a press conference the same week Donald Trump won, and yes, I will say won president, his president election. And thank you guys for coming in.
And a loss of tax income, and are you worried that will affect the city's bottom line?
Well, our city's bottom line was affected, where 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers were placed in the city without any federal assistance that was substantial. We were impacted, billions of dollars. And what Deputy Mayor Williams Isom was able to do, 170,000 have been able to go on to the next step in their journey because of the proposals we put in place, including getting work authorization. The most important thing we can do for those migrants and asylum seekers that are already here in the country who were paroled into the country is give them work authorization. We said this over and over again. People should be allowed to work. Cities like Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, Houston, New York, we should not be picking up the tab of migrants and asylum seekers, which is a federal problem.
Notice what he said. This is a what? A federal problem. And he was very light in this press conference when he said billions, because like I stated, with my research, that is 12 billion, okay? 12 billion. And this is why Donald Trump nominated this particular gentleman, okay, Tom Homan. Okay, I'm going to show him to you. Okay, he has been very controversial. And this particular gentleman, he was in Trump's administration before, okay? He was the former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director. And when he held that position, he made a lot of people upset with him because they did, quote unquote, send children, okay, back to, over the border, okay? So he did make a lot of controversy. Okay, the first time he was under Trump's administration. But this time, Donald Trump has given him an even bigger role, okay, to deal with this border control. And we're gonna talk about it. Thank you guys for coming in with this particular gentleman. I'm just going to we're gonna talk about it. Trump stated, nobody is better at policing and controlling over borders. He will be in charge of all deportation of illegal. These are his words. I don't like that phrase, aliens. I don't like that phrase. These are Donald Trump words, not mine. Of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. I don't like that word. Okay, this is Trump's words, not mine. Homan is said to be a contribution also to Project 2025, and that is another controversial blueprint. Why? Okay. Kamala Harris, this is the same person. Kamala Harris, she spoke about the Project 2025 and how it believed as far as, defunding education, and that is what they're talking about they're planning on doing. Okay. With this new administration coming in. Now, as far as Tom Homan's plans, according to him, okay, once he's fully in his role in dealing with undocumented immigrants, first, he will start the worksite operations, okay? Because according to him, worksite areas are where people tend to find victims of trafficking and forced labor. The next stop that Tom Homan said he will deal with once he gets in his role officially are the sanctuary cities. because in his words, sanctuary cities, he feels these are areas that house illegal, undocumented criminals. Now, why did I pin this out? Okay, I want to highlight it because look at what Eric Adams, the mayor of the New York City, is going through. He's already said we're going to be billions and billions of dollars in debt. And then he also said that we still would support all migrants because that's what the city of New York stands on. He did say that. So him and his team during the press conference, they did wanted to reassure people, okay, that not to panic, not to have any fear, and people don't need to quote unquote self-deport themselves. Now, why was that discussed at this press conference? Because ever since things has been going on, okay, and things are moving very, very fast. When I say things have been going on, Donald Trump has been elected as the 47th president, for one. For two, vouchers have been have stopped in New York City and other sanctuary cities, okay? And now a lot of immigrants, they are moving to different locations, and according to Eric Adams, specifically in New York City, some of them are just plain out relocating. They're leaving the entire state. They're going other places altogether. But when it comes down to this gentleman right here that Donald Trump has nominated, okay, right here, that Donald Trump has nominated, Tom Homan, he has already said to all the sanctuary cities, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of it. He said, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Because he says these sanctuary cities are where they are illegal, undocumented criminals anyway. And he says these are the same jurisdictions that have policies in place that protect illegal immigrants. This is what Tom Homan said. He says, why? Because the cities are designed to limit cooperation with involvement in federal immigration enforcement. Now, why am I'm talking about this? Because Eric Adams just talked about, he did this press conference trying to say, well, wait a minute. We didn't even get any funding. We got no funding. Okay, and we can't continue to pay and pick up the slack that the government is supposed to be doing. We can't do that. But then watch this. Tom Homan says, well, because the cities are designed to limit cooperation with involvement in federal immigration. So who is lying? Somebody is doing too much. Somebody is doing too much. And yes, guys, please hit that like button. Thank you for coming in. We are talking about, like I have in that thumbnail, Donald Trump versus America, because a lot of people are really upset. Some people are happy, okay, such as Tanner. Tanner Rose. Tanner Rose says, I don't know why people are hating on Trump compared to all the other politicians. He's a saint, a savior. He's been through mess just to fix our situation. Exactly. That's why, you have to be careful how you say things and what you say, because to add on to what Tanner just said in the comments, I want to play a video in regards to even with Kamala Harris at her campaign. She went on to say how dangerous Donald Trump was. She went on this rhetoric, saying all this mess. Went on this rhetoric. And even at one of her campaigns in Atlanta specifically, I wanted to actually play for you guys. Okay. She actually, a heckler was yelling, lock Donald Trump up. Lock him up. And at this particular rally, she actually said, we're going to take care of that. Okay? We'll take care of that in November. All right? And November is here. November is here. And who is the president? Donald Trump. Well, not yet, because Joe Biden administration doesn't end until January, as they say. right? But I say all that to say what Tanner has said. I don't know why people are hating on Trump compared to all the other politicians. He's a saint. And I want people to understand nobody's perfect, right? If you go into politics, you're definitely not perfect, right? But the thing about politics is all who can hide their imperfections the best. That is my motto, right? And with Donald Trump's nominee, to deal with the mass deportation that he wants to address, okay, because that's that's number one in his promises, to seal the border and stop migrant invasion, is he hired Tom Homan. And Tom Homan says because sanctuary cities are designed to limit cooperation with involvement in federal immigration. Tom Homan hopes to get help with local government in assisting in his and Trump's big deportation once officially in office, January 2025. Now, we know that's not going to happen. We already know that's not going to happen. Why? Because this gentleman, this governor of Illinois, he already released this long statement. He already released a long statement saying, people have often said I'm a happy warrior. I've always taken seriously my roles as a happy warrior. Now he's calling himself a warrior on behalf of my state. And he says, even today, when I'm struggling with many of the difficult questions this election poses, my optimism for the future remains undiminished. To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity, okay, of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me. So I'm trying to see, does that also go for, okay, this gentleman that he has nominated? Is he sending shots to all of the cabinet, the soon to be Trump's cabinet, right? Is he sending a little, hey, don't mess with me, play with me and find out? Is he really trying to send the heads up? And I'm going to finish this statement. He says, despite his threats, talking about Trump, despite Trump's threats to health care, coverage, and educational opportunity, and a fair minimum wage, Illinois will continue to invest in the well-being and prosperity of all people. Over the years ahead, we'll do more than just protect against possible reversion to an agenda that threatens to take us backwards. We will continue to advance a positive, productive, inclusive agenda of our own. Now, this is the response of the governor of Illinois. Very distraught, very upset. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. And yes, we're talking about, what's to come, as well as some of Donald Trump's nominations for his soon-to-be administration. And one of the gentlemen, he's not playing any games, is, okay, Tom Homan. And we're going to move forward, go down, okay. Tom Homan has said cities such as New York and states such as Illinois have already hinted on continuing to support the role of being a sanctuary jurisdiction. They've already put that out. We've already discussed it. But Homan has stated that the families as a whole should be deported together. He's still putting all this out there. He's saying, okay, you guys can say, okay, we're going to support the immigrants. We're going to support the migrants and illegal, undocumented, specifically undocumented migrants. We're going to support them. But according to the Trump administration, Tom Homan has already said families as a whole should be deported together. So we already know when it comes down to, you know, a lot of things that Joe Biden administration had implemented since he's been in, that's gonna go away. That is going to go away very, very fast. And I want people to understand when it comes to, trying to show you, yes, when it comes to what I'm talking about, what's going to go away very, very fast. If anybody knows the parole in place program, okay, that Joe Biden had initiated earlier this year, okay, soon as Donald Trump won his position, this judge, ladies and gentlemen, Judge Barker struck this quote-unquote parole in place. He struck it down. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you so much, Joy. Joy says thank you for your hard work. Thank you so much. I appreciate this so much, Joy. You just don't know. I'm trying to, you know what, Joy, I would say this, and thank you guys for coming in. I would say this. I come from humble beginnings, and Joy, I just want to give you a call out, shout out, because I didn't say this in the live earlier, but my mother, I was crying in the live before. If you know, you know. I got so much in tears, and people who watch my live, it was like, don't get so emotional. And my mom was one of them. So shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. And shout out to Joy. And thank you so much. I'm going to read it again. She says, thank you for your hard work. And thank you, Joy, for being in this live and supporting me daily. That lifts me up. Okay. That you make my day. People in here, you guys are the ones that make my day. Why? Because on this page, that's why this page was founded, the Politigram platform, to be a voice for the unheard and even a voice for myself. Okay. So I thank you. Now let's move forward. I'm trying not to get emotional, but thank you so much. Now, when it comes down to, like I said, with this parole in place that Joe Biden had started, it was a new program back in June. Okay. All of this is going away. It is all going away. Now, with Biden's administration of parole in place policy, it gave legal status. I want to highlight that. It gave legal status to certain undocumented individuals who are married to U.S. citizens. And as part of this parole in place, okay, if you have been in America for 10 years, I'm going to scroll down. If you have been in America for 10 years since at least June the 17th of 2014, that's one of the requirements, okay, and have legally valid marriage to a U.S. citizen before June the 17th of 2024. These were the requirements, a part of this parole in place policy or program that Joe Biden had initiated back in June. As far as you being eligible, okay? And it was part of the Keeping Families Together program, right? Now, you had to be present in the United States without admission or parole, have been continuously physically present in the United States since, like I stated, June the 17th, 2018. Why? Because this was signed off and approved by Joe Biden June the 17th of this year, 2024. So that's why I say everything is moving fast right now. Everything is moving fast. Also, as part of the requirement, you must have no disqualifying criminal history and otherwise not be deemed to be a quote-unquote threat to the public safety. Submit and undergo required background checks and national security and public safety. These are all on the website. Okay, you look, I will put the link. Also, it says if you are the non-citizen, and this is where it gets messy. I'm going to be honest, this is where it gets a little messy. If you are the non-citizen stepchild of a U.S. citizen,
Okay, you can actually be a citizen. Okay, if this particular, I just want to be honest, this particular parole in place program was still available, because this is going to be out once Trump comes in. All this is going to go away. Now, basically with this particular program, it was allowing even stepchildren to just become citizens if their parents was married to a U.S. citizen. So all of this, what you're looking at, this will go away. All of this is going to go away. And this particular gentleman, the federal judge, okay, Judge Barker, he has already struck down this particular program. Already struck it down right after Donald Trump won the election. And mind you, this was implemented, okay, additional things was implemented back in June by this gentleman right here, Joe Biden. Now I'm going to go back. We're going to regroup. I'm going to go back to Trump's core promises. Okay? Seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. And I want to continue to hint on that and talk about that, because that is what is the big mess right now. The big hoopla right now that is causing everybody to be, a little stirred up, a little shaken up. Now, let's move forward, though. Let's move forward. But before we move forward, I want to make sure I said everything about Tom Homan, who Donald Trump has nominated to deal with this mass, soon to be mass deportation, because I feel there could possibly be a loophole with this mass deportation. And that's what I wanted to also talk about. Okay, and like I stated, after Trump's election winning, Joe Biden's program, known as Parole in Place program, was struck down by the judge that I showed you, Judge Barker, just days after Trump's win. And on November the 7th, he struck it down. Barker struck it down and helped provide a faster path for undocumented families to become citizens. That's why he struck it down. Biden's policy, if continued, would have allowed people who lived in America for 10 years, as well as undocumented stepkids or stepchildren, to become United States citizens, and gain their citizenship. Now, the controversy. This is the controversy in regards to this huge mass deportation that Donald Trump has been speaking about. Because if we can go back to when Donald Trump was in office the first time, he had to do an emergency calling because Congress was against him building that border wall, right? And that was even stopped when Joe Biden's administration got into office. So the bigger question is, what's to come with this mass deportation? Because the controversy with this is the price. The price of this mass deportation is still undetermined by Trump, and his administration. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to read the comments. I'm sorry, I'm going to finally read the comments. Slack says a lot of people didn't like Trump just because of his attitude on his show, The Apprentice. Why are you taking it all the way back to The Apprentice? Why? I used to think he was just some douche growing up. Now I think he's rather decent compared to many people. I'm gonna pin that. And I want people to understand, people can say whatever they want to say about Trump. It's not my place, right? My place is just to provide the information. But one thing I can say and honestly can respect. Want to make sure I go back up. I can honestly respect about Donald Trump is people don't realize this is a hard-working man. And I say that because with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he stated in a recent interview
he stated in a recent interview that Donald Trump, during the night of the election, he had not had any sleep for 48 hours. And this is a man that is 4 years away from turning 82 years old. And if all goes well, nothing happens to him. I don't want nothing to happen to him. That Donald Trump would be the oldest president, okay, that will leave office once his term ends. He will be 82 years old. I want people to understand that. And with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I want to show that part. Give me one moment. I want to show that part where he actually, said Donald Trump is still the same person. He still eats bad. he still eats poorly. He says even when you go on his private jet, the only options that you have as far as eating goes, want to make sure I show that, is quote unquote KFC, and you cannot make this up, KFC and McDonald's. Yes, that is what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said. Those are the only options that you are given when you are on Donald Trump's team. And this picture shows it right here. This picture shows it right here. McDonald's. They're all eating McDonald's, and Donald Trump McDonald's. And with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he stated how Donald Trump, he doesn't even sleep on his private jet. I want people to just think about when it comes down to, Donald Trump, like he is, he's very, how can I say this? He's very mindful with how he moves. There's a reason he moves the way he moves, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? There's a reason he moves the way he moves. Now, I'm not trying to sit here, and I want to be very frank. I want to be very fair and impartial, okay? I want to be impartial, okay? I don't want people thinking that it's one way when it's not. I'm being fair as far as taking, all sides, okay? All sides. Because I will say one of the people that I do disagree with Donald Trump nominating, per se, based off of information that I have found, is not this gentleman, not Matt, even though I am giving him the side eye, but not Matt. We did talk about Matt yesterday, and I might go back and discuss Matt some more. But the person that I wanted to show you guys is this gentleman. He has nominated to be Deputy Attorney General, and his name is Todd. Okay, I'm just going to call him Todd because of the pronouncing of his last name, okay? This gentleman is the gentleman that represented Donald Trump, okay? Defended him, okay? In the 2024 criminal trial in New York, where Donald Trump lost, okay? Where a jury found Donald Trump guilty of 34 felony counts related to falsifying business records, making him the first U.S. president to be convicted of a crime. So my question is, why did Donald Trump nominate him? Why? Why did Donald Trump nominate this gentleman? I don't know. This is where I want people to, have a topic about why, do you feel that there might be a bit of nepotism coming in? And thank you, Nick. I'm going to read what you said. Nick says, I get why y'all mad about Matt. Matt Gaetz. It's valid reason. Yes, it is, Matt. Yes. Unfortunately, for both sides of the aisle, he would make a great attorney general. But if a conviction comes from this, he should step down regardless. Nick, why did you bring that up? We was just, you know what? I promise you guys, I'm not making this up. I'm pinning what you just said, Nick. I promise you guys, I spoke about Matt yesterday. And I want to go back since you brought it up. Nick. Now I want people to understand with Matt Gaetz, even Republicans are wondering why did Donald Trump nominate him to become Attorney General, considering all of the controversy that is surrounding and currently surrounding Matt Gaetz. Okay, and I'm gonna make it very, very, very simple, straight to the point, because I talked about it last live. If you guys want to, I encourage you, to just, go back and look. Now, but I will say this, when it comes down to Matt Gaetz, some people might say, with these allegations, I'm going to just read the investigation that ended up closing once Donald Trump nominated him for Attorney General and Matt Gaetz stepped down from his position. The investigation that was supposed to be open and reported on that Friday of last week, okay, it ended up ending. And what was the investigation and report on? You can read it. You see what it says. I can't say the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. Misconduct, illicit use, accepted improper gifts, and sought to obstruct government investigations of his conduct. Now, also in regards to, he has had 2 investigations. One investigation, he was found. They closed it. This investigation, this was a new one. It was a similar issues. One gentleman that he was very quote unquote close ties with in Florida was this gentleman, Joel Greenberg. Okay, he was a tax collector in Seminole County, Florida, where he was nominated, and he actually won in the year of 2017, but he didn't even last his full term. Why? Because he ended up getting indicted within 3 years of his term. Okay, now what was this indictment? He got indicted of 33 criminal counts, and this is supposed to be one of Matt Gaetz' alleged associates, former associates. And part of that investigation, okay, Joel Greenberg, he made a deal to cooperate with the federal authorities. He made a deal. Now, when it comes down to Joel Greenberg, I'm just going to name some of these counts. He had previously pleaded guilty to underage trafficking, trafficking, wire fraud, stalking, identity theft, producing fake ID card, and conspiring to defraud the U.S. government. Right? So, if this particular gentleman we're talking about, it's a lot. It is a lot. Why? Because with him, I'm going to stroll down. With him, as you can read, it says with Matt Gaetz, how does he apply to Joel Greenberg? They accuse Matt Gaetz of engaging, with a minor. Look, I had to hurry up and not show that part. Engaging with a minor. Now, if you can read, it says February of 2023, the investigation had been dropped. So that was the first investigation, right? So now we're talking about a second investigation months later, okay, that was reopened, a separate investigation. And this was the investigation, okay, into accusations about some more misconduct and other criminal behavior. Okay, that allegedly was with multiple women. Allegedly. Now, in regards to Joel Greenberg and his little episode, mayhem, I'll say it that way, he ended up cooperating, and with his plea deal, he is now in prison. Yes, you heard right. He was sentenced 11 years in prison by a federal judge in 2022. And not only that, was that affected him as far as his freedom. The same year of 2022, his wife ended up divorcing him. Okay? So no wife, no life. Okay, moving forward. Now, with Matt Gaetz, why does this all come back to Matt Gaetz? It's so ironic. When the first investigation came about with an ex-girlfriend, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. He ends up, marrying another woman, gets married in 2021. You don't see the connection with all of this. He gets married in 2021. His so-called associate, Joel Greenberg, ends up getting convicted and sentenced in 2022, and now he has to do 11 years in prison. And Matt Gaetz, on the back end to cover himself, he was able to get out of that investigation, the first investigation, and then now with this new investigation, who saves him? Who saves him? Donald Trump saves him. And I say that because Donald Trump nominates him to be Attorney General. Nominates him. And this is the same guy that even Republicans are giving the side eye to. Even his own party is giving him the side eye. And when Donald Trump nominated him to be Attorney General, Matt Gaetz hurried up so fast and said, I resign. I resign. And that's when Mike Johnson, the speaker had made an announcement. The same day Donald Trump announced Gaetz would be nominated to be Attorney General, he makes an announcement, letting people know that Matt Gaetz would resign from the House, And then, like I said, now we're in a position where now a number of senators, some Republicans, are pushing for details of the House of Ethics Committee to continue with this investigation and not close it. But guess what? Guess what happened? Right? What did they do? I'm going to scroll down. They end up closing it. Investigation of the House of Representatives. His resignation effectively ended the investigation. So he has dodged. So I think somebody said in the comments as far as, a cat with 9 lives, because Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, has said Donald Trump doesn't have any more lives, quote unquote. Because all of what he had to endure during his campaign, with all these so-called, people trying to, make him disappear like a bunny rabbit. I'll say it there where I got to be careful with YouTube guidelines, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what you know. Now, when it comes down to this particular gentleman, Matt Gaetz, he dodged it. Trump saved him. I'm serious. Now, I think the only way the investigation will open back up, I'll say it that way, if it gets approved, that he will become Attorney General, because we got to be very frank, ladies and gentlemen. You still have to get the approval from Congress. It still has to be approved. So Trump just can't walk in and say, I nominate Matt Gaetz and that's it. Bow down. It doesn't work like that. So this is not the end. It's not over for Matt Gaetz, shall I say. He still is going to have to, fight for it. I'm just going to be straight up. And this is, and the only reason I brought it up, if you guys can read what I put in the comments, what Nick says. He says, I get why y'all mad about Matt Gaetz. Yes. Now I'm not saying me, I'm just reporting. I'm just reporting. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Shouts out to Joy for being a sponsor for this live. Thank you so much. And yes, we are talking about the different people that Donald Trump has nominated in his cabinet. And like I said, I talked about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We're not going to talk about him today. I might revert it back, another day, but not today. And I think with Donald Trump, I think a lot of reasons he pointed a lot of people in his new upcoming administration. I'm just going to be very frank and honest. The reason he appointed a number of people in his office, what I'm looking at, I'm looking at he appointed Matt Gaetz. I'm looking at he appointed the attorney that represented him in the case in New York where he lost. Of all things, I don't understand that one. But let me go back. I want to actually show it to you guys. Right here. Is it here? No. The reason he appointed these people, and give me one moment, is because one moment, let me find it. Yes. Right here. The reason he appointed these people such as Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek, Elon Musk. The reason he appointed these people was because he felt like they supported him from day one, Well, almost day one. Almost. Let me be careful. Almost day one. He felt like they supported him. And he felt like it was old. That's what I think, because why would you nominate Matt Gaetz, right? Why would you nominate? Now, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I can see, some reason. Because with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., one thing people don't know about him, if you know, if you don't, I'm going to tell you. He does come from a background with personal experience dealing with medication. When he was a child, he had ADHD, okay? And he said when he had ADHD, he ended up becoming, these are his words, some of the reason he ended up becoming addicted to drugs. And it got so much to the point where by the time he was in college, he was already allegedly using heroin. Okay, and these are things that we talked about yesterday, so much to the point he ended up getting arrested back in 1983, the same time frame where he was an assistant district attorney in Manhattan. And after he got arrested in 1983 for getting caught with the possession of heroin, he lost that job and he had to go through a 12-step program. Okay, but I'm saying all that to say he stated how he's seen how medications can affect people. He's seen it, offhand, and even to the fact, just to use his belated wife, the second wife that passed away, Mary Kennedy. She passed away, from taking herself away. I'll say it that way. I'm being very careful with my words. She, in her later years of their marriage, she was addicted to prescription medications as well as an alcoholic. So with Robert F. Kennedy, he's coming from that background, right? Personal. And then on top of that, because I want people to understand, this is the same man that questions vaccine, okay? He still questions it. That's the controversy right there. He still questions vaccine. He still questions, certain things. And he says it. He wants to improve. A part of him being in his position of Health and Human Services, okay? He said, I'm going to scroll down for you guys to see exactly what he said. Oh, he says that he wants to improve science on vaccine safety, which he believes has a huge deficit. And he wants good information so people can make informed decisions. These are things that, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. comes on that end, right? And this is the same person that, criticized Dr., this gentleman right here, Dr. You can see it, okay? A lot of mess. So he's coming from that aspect. So, and then on top of that, another controversy. I hope they don't do this when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. comes in office, okay, as part of the Trump administration, okay, because he did believe that all U.S. water systems to remove the fluoride from public water. I don't know. I don't think he need to do all that now. I don't think he needs to do all of that. But these are controversial things that Robert F. Kennedy, has spoken about, right? And this is some of the reason I'm going to read what he said. Okay, this is an actual comment that he left on his page. Okay, he said on January the 20th, the Trump White House will advise all U.S. water systems to remove fluoride from public water. Fluoride is an industrial waste associated with arthritis. Okay, arthritis. One moment, you guys. One moment, you guys. One moment. Okay. These are things that RF Kennedy has said, and this has not been proven fact. I want people to understand that when he said that fluoride causes arthritis, causes bone fractures, bone cancer, this has not been cited, okay? But these are things that Robert Kennedy has spoken about, and this is one of the things that makes me wonder and question, why did Donald Trump, why has he, nominated certain people? Okay, especially, like I said, this particular attorney, American lawyer that represented Donald Trump, okay, in the criminal trial in New York, where Trump ended up being found quote unquote guilty of 34 felonies and becoming a convicted felon. Why would you have him? And where's the person? I want you guys say, why would you have him or nominate him to be the deputy attorney general, Todd? Why would you do that? Why? Because if he couldn't get you out, okay, of those 34 felony accounts that you ended up being found guilty for, how do you think he's going to help, okay, as being the deputy attorney general? And then to top it all off, he's going to be working side by side by Matt Gaetz. Are you what? No. No. And this is why I'm wondering why did why Trump is doing things the way Trump is doing. Like, is this his way of telling people, haha, I'm president now and I can pick who I want to pick as part of my administration, and shouts out to the Kennedy family, I'm going to nominate Robert RF Kennedy Jr., okay, since you guys look at him as the black sheep anyway, I'm going to nominate him to be part of my administration. So these are the things I want people to understand. Is this, why? Why did he do this? Why? Now, thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. I want to actually go back and talk about these quote unquote core values or promises. Promises. Okay. Second one, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. Third one, end inflation and make America affordable again. Fourth one, make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. Now, with this particular core promise that Donald Trump has put on his page, okay, if you guys are questioning where did I get this from, and thank you guys for coming in. Regina says Trump has been with us this whole time. If he wasn't, we would be done. So keep praying he gave up his, I can't say that part. The devil is trying, but Americans pray. We are strong. Amen. This is what Regina Book says. Shout out to you, Regina. And to add on to that, I think, like I stated, I want people to understand we have to unite. Even if you are Democrat, even if you're independent, liberal, conservative, Republican, we have to unite. We have to stand and band together. Why? Because you see what's going on. And I'm not just speaking on what's going on here in America, but I'm also speaking on the decisions that this administration has made when it came down to funding wars, okay, that's not quote unquote even associated with America. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna say which war. I'm not gonna say which war. Okay, but with Donald Trump, he did specify even with that, you know, it's some things that we can have, you know, we need to deal with ourselves here in America. Right? And one of the core things we need to deal with is why are we having this inflation? Okay, from a number of aspects. And I want people to understand we can take it outside of it just being illegal immigrants, right? Because it's more than just that. What about the schools? Right? Look at what's been going on here in America with these schools. Parents do not even feel comfortable taking their children to public schools, or better yet, to any schools. And this is why I think, even with one of Donald Trump's core values, when it comes down to, you know, as far as homeschool, right? Because now so much has been going on with these public schools, private schools. Parents do not feel safe to take their children to school here in America. It has gotten to that level. It has gotten to that level. Now, back to number 4. Make America the dominant energy producer in the world. Now, everybody who knows Donald Trump, okay, his motto has been what? Drill, baby, drill. Now, I will say this, some of his nominations, they in the past have disagreed with, okay, this quote unquote drill, baby, drill. Some of the candidates, as far as in his nomination goes, they believed in, you know, other options, okay, more so than using oil to be one of those options, or using gas as being one of those options. And one of the persons that I'm talking about is this lady. I'm not gonna do it just yet because I don't want the smoke. It's 326 people. I don't want the smoke. I might hit on it. I might hit on it in the next slide. I might hit on it, but I don't want the smoke. Because the person that I'm going to talk about, or was going to talk about today, people have the utmost respect for this lady in the Republic. You know, this person has had the utmost respect in politics altogether, but I will have to call a spade a spade. Donald Trump did nominate this person in his administration, but they, back in the year of 2017, I'm giving you guys a hint. I'm not going to say the name of who I'm talking about in this live. I did speak about this person in the live, but I'm not going to say who when it comes down to the controversy. Why? Because back in 2017, this particular politician did not believe in what Donald Trump stands for, which is what? Drill, baby, drill. Okay, this is a stance that Donald Trump is standing on. This is a stance that J.D. Vance is standing on. But the question is, okay, the person that Donald Trump has nominated for his cabinet, how do they feel now about this quote-unquote dominant energy producer in the world? Are they pulling a, you know what, I'm not going to do it. Are they pulling a Kamala Harris stunt, quote-unquote? Are they pulling a Kamala Harris stunt when Kamala Harris, once she was against fracking, and then soon as Joe Biden called her up and said, I want you to be my vice president, oh, now she wants to change her tune. But you know what? I'm not going to do it this live. I'm not going to do it this live. I'm not going to do it. Number 5, okay, as far as Donald Trump's 20 core promises, he says, stop outsourcing and turn United States into manufacturing superpower. Now, why is this very important? Because we have had a lot of factories, a lot of companies outside of America, you know, taking our business, right? And with him, and with, according to his administration, okay, I pray that this goes through, he wants to actually bring it back to America. Right? He wants to bring more manufacturing companies here in America. Right? Like, what's the problem? We have a Ford company here. Right? So we need to bring here. We need to bring it back. Bring it back. Self-reflect. Let's bring it back. What's the problem? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Number 6, large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips. This I completely stand on. I support no tax on tips, especially for people who work in the restaurant field, because anybody who knows, okay, tips is what they depend on, okay? Or should I say, that's what they depend on. And they do not make a lot as far as hourly pay goes. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, the Waffle House in the southern part of America, specifically southeast part of America, okay, with waitresses and waiters, okay, there was a point, I'm not sure what it is now, but there was a point where they was making, what, $2 an hour, or what was it, $5 an hour? What is that? What is that? What is $2 an hour? Why? Because the Waffle House, they're saying what? You make your money, the waiters and the waitresses, they make their money what? Through tips. But it doesn't, what good is making your money through the tips if you're going to be taxed? So this is one of the core promises that I hope that Donald Trump stands on, you know, to kind of relieve some of that stress and pressure with, you know, people who live off of, you know, working in restaurants, working in fields or areas where they depend on tips. The next one, number 7, core promise number 7 by Donald Trump. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. Now, with this particular core promise, I do believe this could be very sketchy for Elon Musk. And I'm only saying it because anybody who knows Elon Musk, okay, I want to stroll up and see if I have it here, Mr. Elon Musk, that is, you know, there's no telling how, I mean, look at the companies that he has, right? This is his stance as far as freedom. When he bought out Twitter and now it's X, I mean, X is on a whole nother level. I'll just say it that way. It has expanded, right? But with X, you know, he did lay off at one point. Twitter did have 8,000 employees, and when he came and brought them out, it dropped down to 1,500 employees. And then he ended up changing the name from Twitter to X. And when he did that, he wanted to actually use that quote unquote phrase, freedom. X is a place where people can have a freedom of speech, okay? Freedom of press. So with this core value that Donald Trump is speaking on, trying to see where he is, Elon Musk right here, this gentleman that I'm talking about, with him, I think that can be a kind of sketchy and heavy, you know, because with Elon Musk, I'm going to be honest with Mr. Musk. I mean, because Donald Trump became the 47th president, as far as the elected 47th president, that did help his company, should I say Elon Musk company, Tesla company, to end up being valued at $1 trillion, all from this election. And in addition, it did benefit him as far as his net worth. Now he's worth $300 billion, right? So my question is, what's to come? What's to come? I'm going to stroll back down. What's to come when Donald Trump comes in and he exercised this core promise number 7, defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. And thank you guys for coming in. Jim says hovering 300, 400. You go, girl. Thank you so much. It was. It's fluctuating. Thank you so much. Marty says hit the like button. Yes, please, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that like button. Northern, thank you for coming in. Northern, I apologize for reading the comments so late. Fallen says, yes, she's doing a great job. I just can't tell if she's doing this as a Trump good or Trump bad. Well, I would say this, one thing I try to be different is I try to be impartial. I don't want this page to be, one of those, pro Kamala, pro Obama, pro Trump, no, I want it to be a platform that welcomes both, right? That's what we need here in this world. We need people to unite because guess what? At the end of the day, I can agree to disagree. I can agree to disagree with you, just like you should respectfully be able to agree and disagree with me. And that is why, I wanted to actually, make this page. And I'm gonna be honest, okay? This is a heads up for you guys. One of the reasons I made this page is because me and my mother, we would be getting in it when we talk about politics. Oh, we wouldn't talk for days. Not about politics. So that's why I wanted to actually, make this platform to say, wait a minute, there's people like this, like me, talk about politics where it is an open platform that welcomes all, and we can discuss, anything, long as it's under some guidelines. You don't have to be disrespectful. Okay. Now, Will's promise number 7, core promise number 7, I will say with Donald Trump, I do wish, I do respect that. I wish this could have been implemented in this particular administration, Joe Biden administration, when it comes down to freedom of religion, freedom of speech, because it seems like a lot of that has been taken away, right? And the reason I say that, because I just use where I live as an example. Here in Georgia, a lady was given a restraining order. Okay, yes, ladies and gentlemen, she received a restraining order because she attended one of those weekly meetings that we as citizens on a local government standing, we attend to question our commissioners, our mayor, our district attorney. Okay, because where I live, this is where Donald Trump has a case, okay, that has been postponed or put at halt, I'll say it that way, here in Fulton County. But there was a lady, okay, she was given a temporary protective order against her. Why? Because she was questioning a sheriff at the Fulton County Jail, okay, questioning things. And this was all before the election in his stance. And she was very distraught. And see, these are the things, it's like, so because I'm questioning what's going on, right, in my county, in my government, freedom of speech, you're telling me I can't say nothing, and then you're going to try to give me a restraining order? See, these are the things that this falls under. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our fundamental freedoms and freedom of speech. Now, core promise number 8, according to Donald Trump. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Prevent World War III. Why did he say that? Okay. He says, prevent World War III, restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East, and build a great Iron Dome, okay, defense shield over our entire country, all made in America. Now, see, this I'm going to question. Why? Because now, see, these are things we have to question. How much is all this going to cost? How much? And I'm going to go back on this. That's why I'm going to highlight this one blue, because I'm going to highlight that one blue, because I'm like, whoa, I don't know about that, Trump. Core promise number 9. End the weaponization of government against American people. Now, with this, I can understand why he says that. I can concur. I can concur, because this is why people in America, I'm not saying everybody, This is why people in America, you know, they don't feel comfortable with voting. They don't feel safe, right? They question things. And then even to the point you have people that have blatantly said, okay, I don't feel safe here anymore. Maybe I need to move out into a whole other country. You've had people say this, and people have actually executed that. Even here on the YouTube world, moved, left America and moved to a whole other country. I'm not going to get into it, but this is what has been going on. And see, with Donald Trump, you know, he's trying to bring it back where people can feel like they are safe. They feel that they don't feel like they are being weaponized by the government. You know, this is his findings. These are his core promises, right? Core promise number 10. And notice he keeps bringing this migrants up because he mentions it. I mean, we're at core promise number 10, and look what he says: stop migrant crime epidemic, demolish the foreign drug cartel, crush gang violence, and lock up violent offenders. This is I don't even know how many times I'm just gonna put a little notation on this because we're only at core promise number 10 out of the 20 core promises that Donald Trump has implemented or he's putting out there. And he's talked about migrants. Let's count it. First one, migrant invasion. That's the first time he speaks on it. Let's keep going. Second time, number 10. So he's really trying to, you know, make sure people know, like, I'm not playing. But I want to see, like I said, I want to see if he is going to be that man of his word. I'm going to see, because notice what he has mentioned, and I'm halfway in with his quote-unquote 20 core promises that he has released. It's on his website. Okay? Halfway in, he's already mentioned the border and the migrants, okay? He's mentioned it twice. Now, with this one, as far as migrant crime epidemic, I wanted to actually go back and take it back when I discuss these beautiful ladies that I'm about to show you. They were victims to illegal immigrants. I don't like using the word alien. I don't like that word, okay? I don't like it. You know, to each his own. But the women that I wanted to actually show you that are victims, okay, to illegal immigrants. First one, Jocelyn. If anybody can remember, she was a 12-year-old girl that was found in a creek in Houston, Texas. Okay, she had passed away. I'll just say it that way, because of these two gentlemen, and both of these are illegal immigrants. Okay, and the charges. Let me review. You know what? I'm going to review what I typed, because the last time YouTube really said, "Oh, no, you can't talk about that." I'll just say it this way. She was one of the victims. Because of two illegal immigrants that ended up causing her to pass away and being found, like I said, in a creek in Houston, Texas. And she made headlines because even with Kamala Harris, they asked her, does she feel like she owes the victims apologies? Does she feel like she owes Jocelyn's mother and family an apology? And what was her response? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it, because that was a while ago. What was her actual quote-unquote response to this?
So true.
I'm gonna play. Give me one moment, you guys.
And that was 5 years ago. I think we've had it broken in.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry, you guys.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness.
Now, that was her response to the loss of this beautiful lady right here, 12-year-old Jocelyn. I'm going to play it one more time what her response was when they asked her. This was an interview with Fox. Okay, this was her. I think this was her worst interview, to be honest. Like, really. That reporter, he handled business. He handled business.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness.
Now, when she said, "Let's talk about an individual who doesn't want to deal with solutions," that's a lie. Yeah, I said that's a big lie, because look at these core promises that Donald Trump has put out there. 20 core promises. I'm going to only talk about, like I said, I've already discussed the first 10. Okay? And even with the people that he's nominated in his cabinet, right? He's showing you that, hey, I want to deal with this mess, this huge border issue that's been going on. I want to deal with it. Why? Because I nominated this gentleman right here, Tom Homan. I nominated him, and he was part of my team the first time I was in office. He was the former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director. He's also a retired officer himself. So what was Kamala Harris talking about in that video? Please tell me that. What was she talking about? Now, back to the victims of illegal immigrants, okay? And with Jocelyn, okay, she was a victim, and that was Kamala Harris' response, okay? She deflected the whole matter, deflected it. And Jocelyn's not here, we need to make sure people like her, will always have a voice no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure. And the next person that was a victim, this beautiful mother of 5. She was 37 years old, Rachel Morin. Okay? She was found raped, and passed away by an illegal immigrant. And all she was doing was just jogging. And this happened August the 6th of last year in Maryland. Okay. And I have to hit it home in regards to myself, okay? This beautiful lady right here in Georgia, she passed away from this gentleman, and he's currently going through trial right now here in Georgia. And this lady, she was a nursing student at Augusta University. And he caused her to pass away. I'll say it that way. While she was jogging. Okay? And this gentleman, his name is Jose Antonio Abera, 26 years old, from Venezuela. Okay? Charged with 10 charges, including felony. Want to stroll down and make sure. Felony, deletion, malice, false imprisonment. Okay? And with the intent to grape. Okay? So I want people to understand, by the way, with this gentleman, he came over here with his girlfriend and children. But, okay, and remember what I stated when it came down that, they wanted to actually make sure the families were together. The illegal undocumented immigrants, if they have children together. This is how he got in. And then I want to make sure we talk about this little. I'm trying to be very careful with my words. But this is not human. Humans don't do this. Okay, a human with humanity does not do what he did. Why? Because with him, he came into America as an undocumented illegal immigrant with a girlfriend and children, might I add. They move up north, right? But guess what he does? He leaves his girlfriend, leaves his children, comes to Georgia by himself, okay, with and lives and moves himself in with another gentleman, okay, abandons his family and moves to Georgia. And what does he do? He had been watching her because she was jogging. She was on a trail. She was doing nothing but exercising. Okay, this is a nursing student. This nursing student that passed away, her name was Laken Riley. Okay, he had been watching her so much to the point this gentleman right here took notes and took advantage, and now we're in a position where she's no longer here today. And now trying to hold my breath. This particular thing, he had the audacity to ask for his trial. He relocated because he wanted a fair trial. You know what? Moving along. Back to Trump's core promises. Can't do it. I can't do it. This is why I can agree with number 10. Okay, Trump's core promise to what? Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Okay, demolish foreign drug cartels, crush this violence, and lock up violent offenders. This is why I completely concur with this promise, and I hope he stands on it and does all that he can. Why? Because we don't need, we want people like Lakeland Riley, who passed away from this, okay, as well as Rachel Morin, who passed away last year, okay, 37 years old, mother of 5, okay, by illegal immigrants. And last but not least, this 12-year-old, okay, who passed away because of these two gentlemen. They found her body in the creek. And I don't even want to get into detail how they found her body in the creek, but just take note, it was disgusting. Okay? So I hope that Donald Trump stands on this, because we need somebody to be the voice for people like that, for the victims. We need somebody like that to be the voice. Okay? And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. And now I'm going to take a pause and read the comments. I apologize. Slack says, honestly, I say pro because I haven't heard the words. I cannot say that word. Can't say that word, Slack. Republic says Tom Homan. Onyx says he's amazing. Yes. Jim says falling. Oh, politics is all in Trump. Jim. Onyx says, of course he did. That's what you have to do. And Tanner, I'm going to give you a jacket. And thank you guys for coming in. Let me try to keep up with these comments. I got to go down, look at the comments. Hello, John. John says, heck yeah, get rid of all the illegal immigrants that didn't cross the border legally. What about the ones that are here now fighting for their citizenship? Well, I would say this. Blame every... Oh, I want to be careful with my words. Blame your current administration for that. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Slack says, not liking the words doesn't change their meaning. Darren says, if they are here illegal, get them out of here. And see, I want people to understand, millions and millions of people have crossed over already. Right? Millions and millions of people have crossed over. And you have to ask yourself, how much is this going to cost to deport? Because that's why it's being called a mass deportation, to deport all of these people back, deport them back. I mean, that's going to cost a lot of money. Why? Because you have politicians, and I got to bring it back. You have politicians such as the governor of Illinois, okay, the Democrat governor of Illinois. He already telling Trump, don't come for my people. If you come for my state, you're gonna come through me. That's what he said. Okay, that is what this gentleman I'm showing right here. That's what he said. And I want people to understand, when it comes down to these politicians, they are very, very upset. Very upset. And they already are just preparing themselves. And with this particular governor, he has said, you can see it for yourself. You can actually see it for yourself. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to multitask. I'm literally trying to multitask while I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to type and multitask. But with this particular governor, he is already saying, do not come for my state. Do not come for my people. We are going to continue to move forward and support the women's rights, productive rights, as well as women having a right to do what they want with their body. Okay, their body, their choice. Okay, because according to him, based off of his statement, and yes, I changed this very fast. Credit, okay, I changed this very fast. But according to him, he has already stated that, well, Mr. Trump, you can say what you want to say about your core promises, right? You can say all of that, but I just want to make sure you understand this. And I'm going to read this statement. He says, people have often said that I'm a happy warrior. I've always taken seriously my role as a happy warrior on behalf of this state. Okay? Even today, when I'm struggling with many of the difficult questions this election poses, my optimism for the future remains undiminished. And he also says this, I'm just going to skim through it. He says, and I quote, going to highlight that. This is to Trump and his administration. You come for my people, you come through me. Okay? This is what he's saying. And he says that the state of Illinois will continue to be a safe haven for women seeking. Okay, you guys can read what I highlighted, but I can't say all of it for YouTube guidelines because I'm not at that point on this channel. But if you would like me to be at that point, please subscribe. Okay, please support this channel. If you want to donate a super sticker, if you want to even like this video, please. Okay, because I want to, move forward. Because I can't say certain things just yet, okay? I'm not there just yet. But with this particular governor that we're talking about, okay, the governor, I'm just going to call him Governor JB. Shout out to JB. I do like the fact, I respect the fact that he's standing on business and he is not acting weak, okay, like the mayor, okay, I'm not going to city, but like a mayor in a city, okay, here in America, he's not acting weak, okay. And he's basically saying, "You come for me, let's get it, let's get it." So he wants to stand on Trump business, okay, quote unquote Trump business. Now, I will say this in regards to the core values. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take it back. We stopped at core promise. I don't know why I keep saying core values, but core promise number 10, it says stop the migrant crime epidemic. Now, I will say this when it comes down to a lot of these sanctuary cities. I want to actually show it to you guys, these sanctuary cities. I'm really questioning what's to come moving forward with these particular states and sanctuary states, because Governor Ron DeSantis, he saw this coming a while ago. And that's why he, in his case, you know, he signed it. We don't want to be known as a sanctuary state, let alone, you know, have any sanctuary cities. So my question is, what's to come? Because I do have a list of states that are considered sanctuary. Okay, you have Vermont, you have Washington, DC, you have Massachusetts, you have Illinois. Excuse the typo. Please have grace with me. I did all this by myself. You have Connecticut, you have Colorado, you have California. You have these places that consider themselves sanctuary. But if you're just coming in, the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, I want to make sure I emphasize that. With him, he's already said it has cost his city billions of dollars. He's already said it cost his city billions and billions of dollars. So much to the point. Let me get back to it. I want to actually show it to you guys. Sorry about that. This gentleman, Eric Adams, he's already said it has cost his city. He says, if we don't get the support we need from the federal government, New Yorkers, okay, taxpayers, okay, shout out to New York. I hope you guys are listening. He says New Yorkers could be left with a $12 billion bill. Okay, that's what he said. And the $12 billion is the estimate by the summer of 2025. Okay, if the flow of migrants continues, okay, to influx. And I want people to understand this is why one of the reasons Donald Trump is basically saying, you know, we have to take a stand. We have to take a stand moving forward, because if we don't do something, okay, it's going to be a number of states instead of, okay, quote unquote, New York City. It's going to be states that be in this number right here, 12 billion. Right? And to avoid this, okay, Donald Trump is, you know, he's saying, okay, I'm putting my core promises out there for you guys. I'm putting it out there. But like I state, I hope that this does not end the way, you know, you have those people, those naysayers, right? They say that this is going to be a huge backfall on America itself. I don't believe that. Why? Because someone in the comments said it best, like, we've had worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had worse politicians, right? And we still have some politicians in office right now that don't need to be in office. So how is it that you're going to put all this on one person, Donald Trump, right? We have to look at things such as that. We have to. And like I stated, you know, I respect everybody. I have the utmost respect for people, you know, that share their differences as far as in the world of politics. I do respect that, but I want people to understand, you know, we have to get out of that, right? If you're going to stand on business, you can stand on business like this. You can stand on business like this, gentlemen. Okay, you can stand on business like him, the governor of Illinois. I can respect it because he says, if you come for my people, you come for me. But just remember, right? You cannot solve problems with other problems. Okay? You cannot, what is it? You cannot come with, you cannot address issues with more issues. You have to come with a resolution. Okay, and this is the time, this is the frame that America is in right now. We need resolutions, we need help. And I want people out there in this, in this world to understand that America does have problems, right? We are not that quote unquote world, that quote unquote nation that, everybody has it. Everybody doesn't have it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have it. I don't have millions and millions of dollars like that. I don't have it where if I don't like how America is, I can just hop on the plane and do like Eva Longoria, the actress, just move. I don't have it like that. Leave America, and not only leave America, but do my acting business and my work in Europe. I don't have it like that. It's some people here in America, majority of people here in America are in a position where they have to deal with it and face it straight up. So with this particular governor, I'm like him. Since he says you come for me, you come for me. His words was you come for me, you come through me. My words is, and I want people to understand this here in America, don't be in fear. Don't be in fear just because we have a new president that's coming in January. Don't be afraid. You cannot be in quote unquote fear. Fear doesn't help anything. Anger doesn't help anything. What helps? Action. What helps? Helping somebody. What helps? Supporting somebody. What helps? Coming with resolutions. That's what helps. But what doesn't help, and I'm gonna show this clip. What doesn't help is what this particular person said in an interview. Okay? Blaming someone. Okay? In this video.
That I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness?
Now, that does not help. It doesn't. So we have to be in a position to come together, all in one, and stand on and face whatever comes our way. That's what I want all of us to understand. In this place we call America. For me personally, it's some things that I've gone through personally, but like I say, I am born American. I am American. I will always be an American. So I cannot speak on a level of quote unquote, well, I don't like it here, so whatever. But then this is the breaker. If you're gonna move, stay out. Stay out. But don't leave, because this is what Eva Longoria did. Don't leave here in America. You move to a whole nother place with your family, but then you come back and you tell people to vote for Kamala Harris, and you take pictures of yourself saying that you voted. Don't do that, because I don't need you. I need the people like you guys here in this live. I need the people like you here that's watching this live. I need the people like you that live here, or maybe if you don't live here, but you're taking the time to listen to actually see what's going on. I don't need somebody that runs from issues. That's what it is. That's a coward. That's what it is. That's a coward. If you leave America, you fully move your whole family from America, and then you only come back here, right, to tell people who to vote for. To tell people who to vote for. That's a coward. Now, some people move, okay, that's on you. It is what it is. People have differences. But like I stated, don't leave here, don't leave America and come back to tell people what they need to do as far as voting, right? Because My personal opinion, that's why I think Kamala Harris lost. She had too many celebrities going to these rallies, right? Telling people to vote, right? And they were not productive citizens themselves. Serious. They weren't. And if you guys have been in my lives before, okay, shout out to I Am Jacob, shout out to Art of War, shout out to Joy, shout out to Herbal Goddess, Tracy, Little Sprinkle, shout out to all of these people. Jim, shout out to Jim, okay, shout out to John, okay. If you guys have been in my life, you would know that you have had, we've seen these celebrities come to these rallies telling people to vote, right? But then you look at them, how can they tell me to vote for this person and they don't show anything as far as living or being close to living my life or have ever even experienced my life, right? And that's one of the reasons I can't respect some of the people that Donald Trump has nominated. Because I'll go back on that. This particular gentleman I wanted to talk about, Marco Rubio. Okay, I can actually say he is what they call, he is, that dream, right? He's that dream. Why? Because he's the son of Cuban immigrants. Okay, his mother was a hotel housekeeper. His father was a bartender. I mean, he actually came from humble beginnings, and look where he is today, right? Look where he is today. And he worked his way up. See, when I look at individuals like this, right, I can say, all right, well, I would take what he has to say. And he's not a quitter because he did not win when he tried to run for president. He did not even get picked to be the vice president for Donald Trump. But guess what? He didn't quit. See, these are things that people have to understand about not giving up in life and not quitting, right? Being that voice, okay? Being that voice of not being a loser, a coward, and overcoming obstacles in life. Obstacles. So with Marco Rubio, I will talk about him in the next live. I'll get more in detail with him because I will say I can understand why Donald Trump picked him to be Secretary of State, the nomination. Okay, I can understand that and I can respect that. I will get more in detail with Marco. Okay. Now there's nothing to say with this particular gentleman. Okay, Donald Trump nominated him to be the deputy attorney general. I don't know if I'll talk about him again because he is the attorney that represented Donald Trump in the New York criminal trial. So I don't know. You guys tell me, right? I want to make sure I want to make sure I talked about certain things. Give me one moment. The last thing I wanted to have a conversation about, when it comes down to that quote, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he did mention this. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. This is a quote that people who go through the 12-step program, okay, they always say half measures avail at nothing, meaning that you must, put everything into it no matter what you do in life, right? You don't half step with things. And that's one of the things I can say with myself. I'm trying to be a better person and trying to even, accomplish this, because one thing that is a person's worst enemy is their own procrastination in life. So that is why I wanted this to be a motivational quote for this particular live, is half measures avail at nothing. And I got that quote from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. when I did my research with him. I can respect that, and that is motivating me to, be a better person, try to be the better person than I was the day before. That's what I always try to tell myself. And I thank you guys for coming in. I thank you so much. But I just had to take the time to talk about Donald Trump and, as far as Trump versus America, it's the time, and I want people to just know from this live, don't be afraid. It's okay. Like it is okay. Don't have fear. Because guess what? At the end of the day, the world is going to keep on going. Life is going to keep on moving. And as a matter of fact, they say every second a baby is born. So we have to just not live in fear. And don't get, we can agree to disagree, right? We can agree to disagree, but we have to band together and stand together. And let me go back into the comments before I go, because I might leave. And thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate that. So much, Joy. Let me go back into the comments. Pat says, vote Trump 2028. Wait a minute, Pat. 2028. Pat, do you know Donald Trump will be 82 years old when he gets out of his term? He'll be 82 years old. Think about that. So you're telling me, okay, you want him to become president or run for president again in 2028? He's going to be 86. What's going on with you guys? Pat. Michael says, pass a background check and you can come here. Yes. Michael says, benefits thief. Oh. Narendra says, Michael, yes, I agree, Michael. I agree. Kyle says, glad to see all of that policy go. Yes. Question says, most people haven't followed it. And shouts out to, like I stated, Narendra, Tanner. I'm gonna read some of these shout outs before I come to a closure. I might close it ended a little bit early. I'm not sure, depending on what I read in the comments. B. Williams says, yes, get the illegal immigrants out. Narendra says, if you want to migrate, do it legally. Yes. BP says, I've been sitting on making $150,000 that ends January the 21st. Wow, I should have. BP, are you still in the live? Why is it ending January the 21st? Your salary. Sorry says, good, get them out. Whoa. Old Nick says, don't matter what it costs. It's going to be way less than keeping. And see, I want people to also understand this as well. We've always had issues going on. It's other issues going on here in America, ladies and gentlemen. I want people to understand that, okay? We can't just put it all on the undocumented immigrants, right? We do have other things going on here in America. King says, take money from foreign aid. Whoa. And shout out to King, shout out to Bojack, shout out to Static. Bojack says convicted felon. Oh, I know who you're talking about when you said that, Bojack. Static says everything that man did was either stopped or reversed. And thank you guys for coming in. Sarah Smith says no one is talking about the visa holders. See, I should have been reading these comments. Oh, I should have been reading these comments. Where is my pen? Sarah says, I'm going to make sure I write you down, Sarah. She says, no one is talking about these visa holders. I'm going to take note on that, Sarah. I appreciate you putting that out there for the universe because, yes, I'm going to be doing my research on that. Brian. Hello, Brian. Thank you for coming in. Brian says McDonald's better tight up. Yes, and that's one thing I want people to understand. I think what he was referring to was, let me go back. Donald Trump being a very, very fond of McDonald's and KFC. As a matter of fact, according to Robert RFK Kennedy Jr., he did say that's the only thing that's offered when you go on Donald Trump's private jet. You're offered only McDonald's or KFC as the meal. Okay, when you ride with his crew. Okay, and as you can see, Donald Trump's son is holding that McDonald's like it is a commercial ad. Miss D says, horrible human beings. God is not pleased. Carolina says, Latinos for Trump. See? I want people to understand that. I'm going to highlight what you just said, Carolina. Okay? They say Latinos for Trump. And see, this is what I was talking about when it comes down to what the Democrats, they thought they had. But due to how things have been changed and things that's been going on through this administration, you see it in this live, right? I pinned it. Hey, Junkyard, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, Junkyard. I'm sorry for reading so late. Junkyard says, make Happy Meals great again. Not make Happy Meals great again. I'm going to pin that. That's funny. That is funny. He says, make Happy Meals great again. I can really see McDonald's using that phrase since Donald Trump is president again. Make Happy Meals great again. Sarah Smith says, also, no one said they were causing everyone's problems. The point is they're here illegally and we're paying for it. Yes, I spoke about it. I spoke about that because I talked about how Eric Adams stated in his press conference the week that Donald Trump won his election, the week of November the 5th, okay, on the day of November the 7th, Eric Adams made a press conference stating that if they were to continue providing the fundings for the undocumented immigrants, New York City would be in a $12 billion bill, okay, as far as taxpayers by the year of 2025, the summer of 2025. Nathan says, visa holders in America, CNA, also get a driver license. What? Ned, thank you for coming in, says, we need to make Americans educated again. Ned, are you from America? Because that's a phrase I always hear. I'm serious. One thing I say is, I always see, people from outside, they look at Americans like, we're not the smartest, quote unquote. Like we don't speak all these multiple languages, That's one thing. So Ned, are you from America? Old Nick says, we built our country for our children. We didn't build it for people from other countries. I need to stay home and go home, but they need to be home and build their country. Now, I will say this. Wait a minute now, Old Nick. Hold up. Wait a minute. How was America fat? But you know what? I'm not going to do it. I don't want no smoke. But I do want to say, okay, America is supposed to be for all, right? Allegedly for all people from different countries, different cultures. Because if we really want to take it there, okay, supposedly, okay, this land was taken, okay, because it was originally whose land, okay? But I'm just leave it alone. But I will say, I want people to understand, and I'm going to show, I might show a clip, the next level. I'm not sure. Don't hold me on it. But people have to understand, people are coming from all countries, okay? So I don't want people to make it seem like, oh, it's people from Mexico. No. Like, you have people, they're coming through Mexico from other countries, right? So it's not just quote unquote, I just want people to understand it. Don't think that it's just the quote unquote, I don't like that type of thinking. And, because it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm trying to be very safe with my words. Tanner says, Flatty, Trump will still fight to help us though. And I hope that, people will come together and support, because we didn't have no problem supporting Joe Biden. Now, we didn't have no problem supporting Ronald Reagan. We didn't have no problem supporting Nixon. Well, hell, why can't we support Donald Trump? But you know what? Moving forward, Thank you for coming in, you guys. BP says, Ned, where did you study? Exactly. That's why I asked Ned, are you from America? Where did you study immigration law? You're not educated. Wait a minute. I didn't say he or she was not educated. I didn't say all that. I didn't say all of that. I love you, Ned. Look, support to everybody in the chat. Tanner says, Flatty, getting an education is becoming more and more of a joke. This is why we voted for Trump. And I will say what Tanner just stated. When it comes down to this should let people know that you don't have to go to law school to be president. You don't have to, quote unquote, you can be anything if you put your mind to it. Why? Because let's just be honest. Donald Trump is, unfortunately, supposedly, he is, the convicted felon. Okay. I want to actually put that out there, for people to understand. He still is a convicted felon until further notice, because he is trying to appeal that. And him being president, I can say, who would be president next time? Once Donald Trump is out, you know what I'm saying? Like, who would be the next person? Could it be Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Could it be Elon? Because I don't know, because all these people that Donald Trump is appointing in his office, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I just hope it's not this person. I hope it's not this person that will be president, because that's a scary sight. I'm gonna show you who I'm talking about. This is a scary sight. I'm so serious. This is very scary. Out of all the people that Donald Trump has appointed, okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I pray that this particular person, and it's no disrespect, okay? It might sound disrespectful, but I pray and find them. Maybe that's the universe telling me don't show them. Maybe that's the universe telling me not to show them. Where are you? I'm trying to see where he is. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find who I'm talking about. But it's one person. I pray he doesn't become president. I mean, now that. Give me one more. I'm trying to find him for you guys. I'm trying to find the gentleman that I'm praying does not ever become president. And thank you guys for coming in. We're talking about Trump versus America, I'm trying to find who I'm talking about. Should not become president. And give me one moment. I apologize. I'm laughing. It's just too funny. This is just too funny. Give me one moment. I'm trying to find him. I think that's the universe telling me, don't show him. Don't show him. Don't show him, they say. Oh my goodness. If I find him, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna bust out even more. If I find who I am talking about does not ever, and I do mean that faithfully. Some people can do certain things, and some people just need to stay where they are. Donald Trump blessed them to be in the nomination, okay, as far as their role that he nominated them for. But like I stated, trying to find it. Give me one moment, you guys. He does not need to be, I'm just going to be honest. If I can find him, he doesn't need to be president. Now, I will say this lady, okay, I could take her, okay. I would respect if she runs for president, before, I want her to run. I want her to actually become vice president, become the female president, okay. And the person I'm showing right here is Tulsi Gabbard. Now, I can respect her, okay. This is her in the military, okay. I can respect that, right? And if she were to become president, I would be in tears. But I'm a big crybaby. I would be in tears, tears of joy, right? But it's one person. I pray they don't become president. I'm trying to find where they are. And I'm not going to end this live until I find this man I was talking about. And like I said, guys, this is Politics Grab. Please hit that like button. I was trying to find what I'm talking about. I have a lot of windows open as far as what I have looked up, and the things that you see right here, these are things that I have actually put together, typed myself. And I'm trying to find, did I close you out? Where you are? Where are you? Trying to find this man. I really am trying to find him. Before oh man, where are you? I really think that, you know what? I think that's the universe telling me they don't need to be president and they don't need to be in the office. I'm gonna take it slow. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh goodness, I'm trying to find it. Please be patient with me, you guys. I'm trying to find him. It's a guy I cannot. I pray that he does not become president. And I don't want anybody to say, don't come for me. This is just my personal views on it. Give me one moment. I'm trying to find it. Where are you? Where are you? Oh my goodness, I can't find it. Oh, I wanted to say it was going to be a joke. Oh my goodness. But guys, I will say this. Don't be afraid of what's to come. Don't have fear of what's to come. Because we can't change. We cannot change anything. Trying to see is he here? Is he here? Oh, yes, we cannot change. We cannot change things that, are already in the works. Right? We can't. Oh, and this is the person right here. Woo, thank you, Jesus. No, he does not ever need to run for president. No. And as a matter of fact, okay, the person I'm talking about is Matt Gaetz, okay? This is the person that does not ever need to run for president, okay? This is the same person that said, and I quote, okay, he believes that Britney Spears, I'm going to show the tweet that he did. He believes that Britney Spears should be in the, this is his now. He says, and I quote, I think Britney Spears would be a great witness in the House Judiciary Committee. She would likely have a lot to say about conservatorships. Free Britney. See, he said things, I think, that's why I say no. No. So, I mean, if all goes well, right, and he surprised me, right? He surprises me, and he does a phenomenal job as Attorney General, because that's the position that Donald Trump nominated him to be, the Attorney General. Surprised me. Okay. Surprised me. Maybe I might have a change of heart and reevaluating and rethinking things, but until further notice, I don't think he need to run. I don't think he need to be president. But look, anything's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. And on that note, let me go down and continue to read these messages. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate the love and support. Shout out to Sarah Smith. Shout out to BP Slick. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to, making sure I'm going down the list, you guys. Thank you for coming in. Shout out to Jim. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Honey. Shout out to Narendra. Thank you guys for coming in. Shout out to OG Brand. And like I said, on that note, I think, let me see, I'm making sure I'm going all the way down now. I'm going all the way down. And guys, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Shout out to the Herbal Goddess. Thank you for coming in. I'm sorry for reading. I'm so behind on the chat. I'm so behind in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. Making sure. Let's see here. Yes, don't explain yourself. This is a place to actually speak your piece in the chat, but do it respectfully. Victor says, I'm not a fan of how he needs to select clowns that will abide by him instead of our Constitution. It has me believe we're going to have a real circus for the next 2 years. Whoa. Let me go down. And you know what? I would say this. That's why I said I don't want people to, I don't want people to actually, don't be afraid, just, look, you're still going to have to live your life. You're still going to have to pay bills. You're still going to have to support yourself, support your family, support whoever whatever you're dealing with now. Guess what? You still got to do it next year and the next 4 years. Kathy says, if you don't like America, then leave or take a 4-year vacation. We've already had 4 years of Trump where prices were down. I will take the economic advantages over all the outcomes. And thank you so much for coming in, Kathy. Dan says, no one person can end inflation. How dumb does he think we are? Whoa, Dan. You coming in hot. Shout out to Dan. I'm going down. Thank you guys for coming in. I'm just reading some of these comments. All right, and that's it. Thank you guys for coming in. And I appreciate all the love and all the support that you guys do every time I do a live. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. But as I always end the live, with motivational. I always have motivational to not only help others, but specifically, keep myself in check. So as always, the first one, eliminate the if, focus on the present, focus on self and not of others. Tell yourself, I will learn something new every day. And also tell yourself, I will not get upset of what I don't have control of. Now, I hope people take that into consideration. I'm going to repeat that again. Tell yourself, I will not get upset at what I don't have control of. Okay? And also, last but not least, tell yourself to advocate for yourself and speak up. Speak up, because if you don't speak up for yourself, who else will? And on that note, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do. You come in, and we will have this show come back as always between 6 a.m. It will start between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. ish Eastern time. Give me grace period, okay? Okay, give me grace. Okay, that's when it'll start, somewhere between that time frame. Please share this live, like this live, comment after this live, subscribe to this channel. And I also want to make a notation to everybody that comes in. Please, when this live ends, I implore you, you don't have to listen to the whole thing, but I implore you to, replay it, support the channel, because when you replay a live, you do actually help me and you help this channel. Okay? And on that note, thank you so much. Always have a peace of mind and always be in peace. This is Politic Graham. Bye!